Welcome back to the top 145 Mario Kart tracks of all time. We are getting to the nitty gritty here. We have numbers 58 through 30 that we are ranking now, so we are getting to the good tracks and almost the great tracks in the history of Mario Kart. We are kicking it off with Mario Kart Super Circuit's Bowser Castle 3. Those of you who play Mario Kart Wii know how much of a great track this is. It's got some great shortcut potential, as you just saw my ghost take, cutting off this entire U-turn. And the unique thing about this track, because this is in a game with 4 Bowser Castles, this being one of them, but the other Bowser Castles are in a tannish color palette. This is the only one that has a blue/purple color palette, so it kind of separates itself from the rest of the pack, and it almost makes it more enjoyable because of that. And that's going to be a theme here, at least for this part of the list. We have a lot of Bowser Castle tracks stacked on top of each other, but regardless, we are going with Bowser's Castle from Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. This is a 5-star track in terms of difficulty. Yes, I said it. This is the most difficult track in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, in my opinion. There's just a lot to offer here. The anti-gravity can really throw you off. A lot of this track is sort of the same color, so it's almost a bit difficult where to go sometimes, but the track does have LED lights on the side of the walls to let you know that you are going in the right path. Of course, you also have this giant Bowser, which is a lot more invasive as opposed to the other Bowsers from, Mario Kart 64 or Mario Kart Wii. This one actually smashes down the road. You got these fire geysers that can destroy your race as well. So a lot of elements in changing terrains in this track that you don't see in many other Bowser's Castles. It's a little on the long side, but that's a good thing for Bowser's Castle. It's intimidating, a little bit dark, but I love it. And my oh my, the Bowser Castles just keep on rolling. At number 56, we have Mario Kart Double Dash's Bowser Castle, the hardest track in that game. And this is the first Bowser's Castle that I recall that lets you enter the Bowser Castle through Bowser's head or his mouth, whichever you prefer. And you're just going in and you are in an ominous presence, fireballs everywhere, thwomps everywhere, all the staples of the Bowser's Castle. You go through many twists and turns and different elevations. This really is a challenge all put together, the final challenge almost. And I love how this came right after Luigi's Mansion, so the background with the dead trees and the green sky, the lightning, is really taking homage and credit to Luigi's Mansion to making this feel a bit more scary, a bit more intimidating. And even the arrow signs have eyes on them, angry eyes, so those are not to be dealt with as well. This also has an ultra shortcut used with a spiny shell, and the purple water and everything just make this a complete track. When you can take an idea for a track and kind of twist it in your own unique way and make it fun to play, that is when you've done something right. And Wario Shipyard is the epitome of that. It does underwater physics pretty well. It doesn't feel as slow as the other ones because there's also boost panels that can help you sling yourself out of the water and back into the water. You are entering a bonefish's mouth, which is incredibly cool, and a lot of cool stuff happens around here. You got these pipes that are shooting you outwards, and just the whole theming of a broken and sunken and abandoned pirate ship themed after Wario almost seems perfect. The purple and gold color scheme goes really well with the lightning background and the dark sky going into the misty water where you see some crabs. And it even features a little glider mechanic at the end where you can just hover above some of the sunken ships. So there's a lot to take in when it comes to this track. It's really one of a kind when it comes to its atmosphere and aesthetic, and I really appreciate it for everything it's done. A fantastic track you must play. And now at 54, we have a Mario Kart Wii track. This is Koopa Cape. So when you think of Mario Kart Wii courses, this is one of the tracks that comes to mind, at least for me. You think of the plenty of awesome courses in the Star Cup, you think of the plenty of courses in the Flower Cup. There's a lot of good courses in Mario Kart Wii, and Koopa Cape is one of them. It's a little bit long, but it has a lot of great moments. For one, as soon as you go off of this ramp, you are flowing upstream with this small river where you can even take shortcuts, but you feel like you're accelerating faster. Even though you're on the same engine class, you get to make quicker decisions and you're just going fast, which is the beauty of this game. And then you go underwater in this pipe, and even though there are lightning zappers rotating around trying to get you, their predictable pattern allows you to easily escape them while they're still being quite a threat, especially that last one where you gotta make quick and sound judgments to move out of the way, or else you're gonna ruin your race on your own. This is a skill-based track and has everything to offer. Now this is insane. Look at the ranking here. We have Mario Circuit from Mario Kart DS, chilling here at number 53, and it went up 53 spots from the rankings. I wasn't even planning to do that. I didn't expect a track that was previously ranked above 100 to be this far up the list. This is the only track ranked above 100, but just look at Mario Circuit right now for Mario Kart DS. They did fantastic. Different terrains, elevation, inside a glow-up tunnel. You got Peach's Castle, of course. You got tight turns. It's in the Star Cup, so it can add a little bit of challenge. And this is just one of those Mario Circuit tracks that you have been begging for, because it's not too standard or ordinary. The enemies are there. There are shortcuts around. It's great. But coming up next here at number 52, we have the first track in the Special Cup for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is Cloud Top Cruise. This isn't an entirely difficult track, which, you know, is a little upsetting because you'd expect to have a bit more difficulty when you're entering the Special Cup, but man, is this a welcoming track. You have the Bowser Mushroom Pad that you can take as a mini shortcut, and then you're on an airship. I'm surprised they didn't do this theme in the past when the new Super Mario Bros. Games were rocking with all the airships, you know, going into the clouds. This really gives you World 7 vibes, as like you're almost there. You just got to complete this like big challenge, but it's not the final challenge. So this is a fun track because there hasn't really been much like this. The boost panels get shocked by lightning, so you gotta understand and memorize the pattern of when the lightning's about to come, and this is a deceptively difficult shortcut, and it's a deceptively fun track. And so I understand I've been saying fun tracks for a lot of these tracks, and not only this video but in many of the previous videos, but I mean fun tracks in terms of how they are to play. This is a fun track in terms of its visuals. Just look at the gorgeous presence, the lovely clouds, the perfect cyan blue sky, and it's just a beautiful backdrop that you enjoy to look at, and it just puts your mind at ease. Now about the track itself, it's a great one to play as well. You got mini boost panels that are fun to hit and that make you go faster and allows you to complete the course faster. There are plenty of boost ramps that allow you to jump high and completely break the course like plenty of other games. It's one of those great tracks. And coming up next, we have another one of those. This is Mario Circuit 2 from Super Mario Kart. Of course, this is one of the more unique tracks in the entire game because at the end of the track it features quite the jump, and you'll see what I mean later if you're not already looking at the bottom half of this screen. This is one of those tracks. It's got plenty of good turns. They're not too difficult. They allow you to drive as fast as humanly possible. And here's the jump. You can go in between the pipes and you're pretty much good to go. It may send you in the sand, but as soon as you know what you're doing, you will be good to go. I'm glad they put this into Mario Kart 7 because that introduced the glider mechanic, and having that jump there was a really smart feature, and this track makes Super Mario Kart all the more better. Now another Super Nintendo track that took quite the big jump was Ghost Valley 2 from Super Mario Kart, and if you just look at this track, it's kinda got Ghost Valley 1 vibes, but a little bit more tricky, which is what Super Mario Kart was obviously going for. The track is wide, but the turns are tight, and therefore you can complete this track as fast as you can without having to let go of the A button, and it's so satisfying. It's one of the most satisfying tracks to drive because you don't ever have to slow down, you don't have to worry about falling off, and when you complete those turns, there's still enough of a challenge that it makes you feel accomplished that you didn't fall off. So overall, this track is just a blast, whether you're on your own or with some friends. Now moving on here, we have Wario Stadium from Mario Kart DS, ranked at 48. Now like I said before with Cloud Top Cruise, I like your Special Cup tracks, the first courses in the Special Cups, to be a bit more challenging, to kind of evoke that sense of, you know, toughness for what the next tracks in the Special Cup are going to be like. This track unfortunately does not fulfill that challenge. It's a little bit challenging, but this could easily pass for a Star Cup track if it really wanted to. There's some mud everywhere that can slow you down, there's some fireballs, there's not really anywhere you can even fall off in that track, so that gets a little bit of points knocked off for it. But I gotta appreciate the track for its atmosphere, the fact that you can drive anywhere as fast as you can, except for this section with the bumpy hills, the mini hills that kind of make me lose control of my drift afterwards. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but besides that, I think the layout of the track is pretty enjoyable. Now, one of the more innovative tracks to come out of its time recently was Mute City from Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. This came out with the DLC Pack 1 in the fall of 2014, and just look at it. You can get coins by going on the purple and blue gradient boosters that don't actually boost you, but they give you coins that used to give you health in the original F-Zero games. There are plenty of boost panels and anti-gravity boosters that give you these little speed boosts and increases to your overall speed. There's what I'm talking about, where you can get the coins, but you want to hit as many of the boost panels as possible, kind of like Moonview Highway, but there's not many cars. The layout is much more fun and satisfying, and there's even a cool intended mushroom shortcut at the end that allows you to cut off the turns and pass some people. This track is a blast to drive, and the music and soundtrack, don't even get me started, it is fantastic. Please play this when you get the chance. But before you do, you gotta hop onto our next track. You knew this was coming. This is Baby Park from Mario Kart Double Dash, and holy cow guys, this is so much fun. Of course, they really botched Baby Park in all of its remakes, because you can never replicate the fun Baby Park had in Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, I'm not doing it justice in time trials, but when you are playing local multiplayer with a brother, sister, or cousin, or whoever you are, and you're playing with all the items turned on, frantically throwing Bowser shells, spiny shells, bombs, it is insane madness that I can't describe in any other form. You gotta experience it for yourselves. Alright, but enough of that rant. We now have Toad Circuit coming up next at number 45. Dropped a few points, but that doesn't mean it's a bad track. It's a fantastic track. It's the best beginner track out of all the Mario Karts in my opinion. It really does a great job showing Mario Kart 7's mechanics. It's got some light and gentle turns, albeit a few harsh ones as well. It's got some boost panels so you can glide through this straightaway without having to feel too bored. It's got the giant toad balloons, so it gives you that welcoming and scenic atmosphere. It's got a few shortcuts that you can take. You can take a ramp shortcut here, and you could take this shortcut with pipes on a little bit to the left of you, and it's just like Luigi Circuit and Mario Kart Wii in that regard with the shortcuts. The glider ramp shows up on lap 2 and 3, so if you want to take that and experience gliding for the first time, this track will let you feel free. But it is not the best Toad track in my opinion. Unfortunately, that has to go to our next entrant here, Toad Harbor, a particularly easy track for being in the Flower Cup, but man, just take a look at it. You are in a vacation destination. You have these boost panels that can take you on top of the roofs here for this town setting, and man, just take a look at your atmosphere. When you are not doing awesome shortcuts on Toad Harbor, you are just taking a look at the scenery around you. You get to cut a little bit of the S-bend, albeit if you're not hitting walls and not having to use a mushroom to save your time. You can also save time by cutting it inside really close. If you're feeling risky, you can play with the trolleys, you know, and try not to get hit by them instead of going up against the anti-gravity wall. And there's even multiple paths you can take here at the end. You can go inside of this town area and then get a little speed boost at the end. There's many different paths this track can take, and it's really underestimating how underrated this is. But now we are moving on to Sky Garden. This is one of the more technically advanced tracks in Mario Kart Super Circuit. You can see the hot air balloon that we saw earlier in Luigi Circuit from Mario Kart Super Circuit, and you also have these beanstalks. You feel like you just climbed up one of them. You were inside the Jack and the Beanstalk fairy tale, and now you're almost in heaven. You got these clouds all around you. This is a flat track, so it gets a little bit points taken off, but again, a lot of the tracks in Mario Kart Super Circuit, if not all of them, were pretty flat, so you can't really judge it based on that. It's still a really fun track to play, and the music and the soundtrack is inspiring and fun to listen to as well. Gotta give it credit. But moving on to 42, we have Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road. This was definitely not limited by elevation. The Wii had a lot more power than the Game Boy Advance, and this one definitely took advantage. You start immediately with a 90-degree downwards turn that you can jump over completely with the so-called moon jump shortcut. You have plenty of boost panels that you can take, and you can ride over, and you enter this miniature figure 8 section with a little bit of gaps in the ground, so you don't want to fall all the way back to earth, or else Lakitu's going to go fishing for you all the way down there. And now you are in a cannon, as is staple with plenty of Rainbow Road tracks. Let's not forget that the soundtrack is also beautiful as always. It's a very technical track. It really showcases the best of Mario Kart Wii's technology advancements with the half pipes and the tricking and the cannons and the bike maneuvers. It is a track that fulfills every Mario Kart player's dream that wants to be a pro at this game. And guys, I didn't think we'd finally get there, but we finally did. This is the fourth, the best, the final of the 4 Bowser Castles, and frankly enough, it's Bowser Castle 4, the one right before Rainbow Road, the most challenging one. Of course, immediately throwing stuff right at you with the fire squares in the lava, which, you know, if you don't jump over them, then you are pretty much screwed. And you also have variable lengths in the paths. Some are really wide, some have these jumps, which are amazing as well. You can use mushrooms to skip certain areas of the track. Some areas are super tight, so if you so far go left or right, you are hitting a corner and you are slowing your character down almost completely. It may seem boring, it may seem long, but man, when you get a chance to learn the track and you get to complete all these turns, you are going to have a blast. But holy cow guys, we are also clearing out the Bowser Castle tracks from the Super Nintendo game as well. We have Bowser Castle 1 from Super Mario Kart, the best Bowser Castle from that game, one of the best Bowser Castles period. It is a very simple track. It introduces all of the current ideas that are staples in Bowser Castles. You have multiple jumps in a row, you have the womps, and you have the potobos that will be rising up from the lava, and you have these sharp twists and turns that are all staples of a Bowser Castle track. Of course, everything in this track in specific starts activating once you enter lap 2. There's a boost panel that can take you all the way down this straight away in the Grand Prix modes, but man, this is a perfect track if you're looking for something simple but still desire that Bowser Castle experience. Now, one of the longest tracks in the game that we've gotten to know and love in all of Mario Kart history is Wario Stadium. Of course, the infamy of this track nowadays is that it is the only Mario Kart 64 track to not get a retro remake in any of the future Mario Kart games, and I'm sure its time is coming. But yes, I had to speed this footage up because of how long this track is. It is a 3-lap track, and it takes well over a minute to complete 1 lap and I mean if you decide to play the track in its entirety. There are plenty of skips you can do. There are ramps right past the starting line that you can cut to save half the track, and you can even go back to the starting line to save pretty much the entire track and finish a lap in 7 seconds if you really wanted to. But man, this track offers some fantastic races. They are very tension filled despite how long it is. Look at this shortcut, what I mean, for example. And now going back to Mario Kart Super Circuit, this track, Sunset Wilds, is one of the most technically advanced tracks in the entire game because it has a dynamic background. Its name is Sunset Wilds, and the dynamic background means every lap the sky is changing colors. This is currently a little pinkish orange color right at sunset, but it's going to get to a deep pink / purple at the beginning of lap 2, and then at lap 3 we will get to a dark blue, and it will show the entire night. But you also have these enemies to avoid. You have to avoid these shy guys in their little huts for camping out, or else they will cling onto your face like the Monty Moles do in Super Mario Kart when you hit them in donut planes. Look at the night sky changing. This track is impressive on the Game Boy. And we are going to continue to roll with these very impressive tracks. This is Yoshi Valley from Mario Kart 64, the second track in the Special Cup of that game. And just take a look at the mini-map. There are multiple paths you can take. This is a labyrinth built into a Mario Kart track, and everybody knows the good old saying that the computer processor in Mario Kart 64 did not even know what place you were in because it could not comprehend the position of everybody in the game. And yes, that is a pretty tricky shortcut in this game, but if you complete it, you can save about 10 seconds. So this track pretty much has it all. It's got the Yoshi, it's got the background, it's got the shortcuts, and it's got multiple paths, something that we have never seen before, so you gotta give it a ton of points for innovation. But this next track almost took that Yoshi theme a little bit too far, but somehow perfected it to the perfect amount. You have Yoshi Circuit Mario Kart Double Dash's version that dropped a few points in the ranking, but that doesn't mean it's a bad track. Take a look at the mini map, yo. You have the entire shape of Yoshi's full body in good view. We are currently going on his nose at the moment, and then we are about to take an awesome shortcut. That's not the one I showed earlier where you can cut over the waterfall. You can now go inside this tunnel, which leads you right onto the red shell on Yoshi's back. You are now about to circle around his tail and go straight down the back leg onto his boots. And man, this track is very scenic. It's got a Yoshi helicopter, so shout out to the OG Yoshi's Island, and they just made this a fantastic track. So I'm curious in the comments below, I want to hear your guys' take. Who has the better tracks to their name? Is it Yoshi or Wario in all of Mario Kart? And I don't know who I would choose. I think I might have to go with Wario, but Yoshi has some really good tracks as well, as we just mentioned. This one, however, might have to take the cake as the best individual track with those two names. This is Mount Wario from Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, of course going up a ton of points. I realized how underrated I placed it in the previous rankings, but man, it has such great value. There's so many cool things about this track. It's visually stunning and impressive despite being on a ski mountain. So a lot of things you can look at here. You can even take a shortcut. It's 1 lap long, so each lap is different. It's a little bit challenging as well, but that's the fun thing. Each lap has to add its own version of a challenge. This one is pretty much alpine skiing in Mario Kart, and I enjoyed it a lot. You need to have a good car that can drift. Yeah, it can get a little boring from time to time, but man, with the music going fast and your heart beating and you're gliding down this ski ramp at the end, very fitting for the Winter Olympics that are coming up. Lovely track to play. But you knew this track had to show up on here eventually. The one, the only first Mario Kart track of all time, Mario Circuit 1 from Super Mario Kart. This track is so simple. It's the epitome of Mario Kart. It's got a shortcut. It's very flat, but it's got pipes, and it's just a fantastic beginner-friendly track for racers. There's really not much else to say about this track besides its iconic level and how much fun it is and how much it inspired the rest of the Mario Kart tracks. A 5-lap track of beauty is right here. And now we move on to track number 33. This is Lakeside Park from Mario Kart Super Circuit, going up a ton of points. This one also has a dynamic background. The color of the sky changes because the volcano in the background that you see is about to erupt, so you better get out of this track as fast as possible. And thankfully this track lets you, because there are so many ramps and so many boost panels that you can jump and skip huge portions of the track just like this, saving so many precious seconds and adding some immense fun to this track. But speaking of volcanoes, oh man, this is a very difficult track, but oh so rewarding once you learn to master it. This is Grumble Volcano from Mario Kart Wii, and its prime mechanic is that just the pieces of the track will start to fall off the longer you are on this track. So on lap 1 everything seems lovely dandy, but then as you see the stitches on the road that outline the cracks on the road, those will start to fall off and crumble into the lava, therefore making certain shortcuts unavailable and certain pieces of the track unavailable, and the track will overall be thinner. But as of right now, you can take these shortcuts. Some of the most epic shortcuts in the entire game are on this track, and it is a blast to drive. You can take as many low tricks as you can and drive through this track with relative ease. Holy cow, this is a blast. But just like this past track, this track is another one that perfectly balances the difficulty, creativity, and the amount of fun it is to drive on the track. This is Dragon Driftway from Mario Kart 8, appeared in the same DLC pack as Mute City did in that fall 2014 release with the Wii U, and even though it did drop a few points, it is still an incredibly fun track. It is very heavily Chinese influenced, which of course is amazing, and it really brings the uniqueness to the track because we don't really see something like this in Mario Kart before. And it's also based on the Dragon Eel character from Mario Galaxy games, at least as far as I can remember. And this track has a lot of trick panels. You are on anti-gravity a lot, so when you're racing against other racers you can get speed boosts almost non-stop, and there's just a lot that this track has to offer, so you best be exploring on this track because you're going to be here for quite a while. But speaking of exploration, even though Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe may not have any, this track pretty much emphasizes it from its core. This is Mushroom Bridge, our last track of the video from Mario Kart Double Dash. Yes, it's down a few points, but that doesn't matter because it is still an incredible track. Just look at all the quirky stuff you can do on this track. You are inside the railings of this track. You're pretty much riding on the sidewalk at the moment. The tunnels are awesome, the green and the orange tunnels that can light up on you. The cars are not overly difficult to avoid. The Wiggler truck is fantastic, and you can also go up on the side of the bridge. There's plenty of boost panels here, so the developers intended for you to make your way up here, and it's a ton of skill if you can make it all the way to the finish line without falling. You even have this pipe cannon that can pop you back out here, and you have a little shortcut that you can cut this 90-degree turn in. This track pretty much has it all. It brings a smile to my face every time I play it, and never forget the music is great too. But that's it, guys. That is my top 145 Mario Kart tracks of all time for this video, 58 through 30. The final video, the top 29, is coming out very soon, so make sure you like the video if you're enjoying the series so far. Please subscribe so you don't miss that last video, and I will see you guys real soon.